I don't agree that he can debate the propriety of the individual. I really don't. I think once you determine that it's a male from Venezuela over 14, it's not for him to determine whether they are a gang member or not. That's up to Homan and Trump.
But the court is allowed to do that bit. That's what the Supreme Court case is. The court's allowed
for sure.
to determine
and even the DOJ has
14-year-olds.
acknowledged that. Even the DOJ in its filings has acknowledged that there is a very bare minimum of inquiry that this judge is allowed to do. But they're arguing that he far exceeded his remit. And the notion that an unelected federal district judge could turn around two planes in the air carrying gang members from Venezuela out of the United States. Again, Stephen Miller raises some very good points without knowing what the fuel supply is, without knowing what the wake time hours of the crew and the pilot are, without understanding whether there was a safe place for them to turn around in international airspace. The hubris of this man to think he could do it. And by the way, he's making a big deal out of the fact that he issued an oral ruling early Saturday saying, don't let those planes take off. And he didn't write it down until later in the day. And he thinks they should have complied with the oral ruling. But if you actually look at the rules of civil procedure, there is a requirement that you write down, especially when it comes to TROs, that you write down what you're mandating. So I think that's why ultimately the judge abandoned what had been done after his oral ruling. But the left-wing media won't tell you that. They ran with, he issued the oral ruling early in the day. No,
but
the one that governs is the written ruling. Go ahead.
But how else do we litigate this? I mean, you've got, on behalf of the plaintiffs here, you've got two statutory claims and a constitutional claim. And maybe the Trump administration will prevail, and maybe it should. But the people in question, although, again, I'm sure most of them are terrible, are allegedly in this gang. They have been accused of being in this gang. If you are a judge and this comes to you and you don't have a definitive Supreme Court ruling on this because of the distinction between declared war and an invasion, and you have two statutory questions being made, plus a constitutional question, does the act in and of itself violate due process when used in this way? I don't know what you do other than involve yourself.
But you're saying the distinction between declared war and invasion in a way that would undermine the Trump administration's argument right now. It only helps. It only helps the Trump administration's argument right now. Declared war would undermine them because they don't have a declared war against Venezuela right now, not by Congress. But incursion or invasion, as I read to you, the statute says the president makes public proclamation of the event. That's all that's required. The president makes public proclamation. He did that.